everybody. We're live on 2 different platforms.
Yay. It happened again.
It did. I learned a fun fact before we did Brouhaha, or recorded Brouhaha this Friday, that installing this new plugin made it forget every single webcam, and I had to go back and manually add everything back in and reconnect it for all the live shows.
Nice.
So, found that out on Brouhaha, which was cool, because that was pre-recorded, and I'll have to post it later. And not like when everybody was in my dining room for the live game. Which Nathan may be ready to kill Chris. But they're brothers, so that makes sense.
I mean, it is about that time.
Mm-hmm.
To be fair.
Is everybody okay?
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm tired. I'm tired. My legs hurt.
Emily has the baby. The nightly routine is starting to not work anymore. So, can everybody see the map that we are on?
Should probably log in.
Yep.
Okay, so as a recap from last week, y'all kind of handled up loose ends and Hillens, did a little bit of shopping, and decided that your best bet for an Immortal to cast the spell to seal Loth back on the other side of the gate would be to go to Mixel, the Marvelous Mage, who resides in Tarl's hometown of Alesbane Thaig underneath the city of Garthin. Y'all made it there, and we're beginning to make the descent down the well, which is the giant central spire that goes down into the upper Taigs. Tarl tried to do a cool skateboard trick on a shield or a piece of wood, and it did not work. So you find yourselves in the middle of the night going down the stairs into the into the upper Taigs. Tarl, you know that this is going to be quite a walk down, like probably the better part of a day. However, I'm not going to make anybody roll survival checks because Tarl, you know how to get between the upper, the middle, the trenches, and the lower Taigs extremely easy because it's something you did all the time. You've been on trade missions and jobs for your family, so you just know it. You know how to get there. It's just going to take the time of physically getting down there. But nowadays, it's mostly paved and has stairwells cut, especially down into where Alesbane Thaig is in the trenches. While you are descending, is there anything specific you would like to do or see?
Looking around to make sure there ain't no bear traps.
Roll me a perception check. You do not see any bear traps. However, in your soul, Tarl, you know somewhere there might be one. Because there's always one asshole that leaves one, just drops it, or it finds its way, especially Especially if your Uncle Tark is walking around somewhere.
I'll keep your eye out for target traps. I ain't seen none yet, but it's basically a big bear trap. Uncle tells me in one story where they was walking through a cavern, and Tarl had 15 of them damn traps hanging off of his body before it was said and done.
In this day and age, who still uses bear traps for like defense? It seems kind of antiquated.
All the things we've seen, don't count it out.
So with that, the only thing I'll ask is for everybody to give me a Constitution roll.
Straight Constitution or Constitution save?
Do a Constitution save. Dear Lord. We just need Arvax. And Mulak.
That is Mulak. That's not Balfor. That's all. Everything is going to be Mulak. It's just going to say Balfor because I didn't change my name.
All right, is Balfor rolling?
No, he stayed with the old. Oh, he's still walking to get to the old dwarves.
Yeah, they're.
Hold up. All right, that's Balfor.
Also, the fact y'all are all near Arvax, I think it's a +3 or a +4. So, yeah, y'all start. You start heading down the stairs, and y'all handle this like champs. Nobody's gonna get winded. After a couple of or after about an hour, you have made it down the main staircase, gone through a portion of the upper Thaigs, which are very, very bougie. Like a lot of metal ornamentation. You can see a dwarven face with an axe in its head. You see one with 2 axes crossed behind it. You see what looks like an anvil with a shovel in front of it. So you see these different dwarven families, more or less fancy houses. Like these seem to be the wealthiest of the dwarves. A lot more beard ornamentation. As you continue to push through, you find the pathway that starts leading down to the lower Thaigs, and after about an hour, you make it to the outskirts of the middle Thaigs. You still see similar heraldry, but colors might be different. Some of the Tarl, you would know some of these are the cadet branches of Toki, Tallborn, and some of the other great houses. And this is when you also see the torches are always burning, and the bioluminescent lichen that kind of grows in veins is still there, but there are mechanisms, especially for non-dwarves or surface-dwelling species, to let them know this is night. Like, it's a little bit dimmer than it normally would be, and the only ones you really see going are house guards and the late shift from the middle mines coming back. So Tarl, you would know here as you start to try to head even further down that you're going to start running into patrols, because while the main area that the Thaigs take up underneath Garfin is secure and more or less a metropolitan city, the caverns do extend for miles in every direction outside of the city and can connect down to the deeper roads and passageways. So sometimes things make their way up. So you know that you'll probably have to have some form of identification here soon, because you will more than likely run into a patrol if you wish to move down to the Middle Tiges now that things are, or move past the Middle Tiges to head down to the trenches, as it is probably close to midnight, 1 o'clock.
I take my holy symbol out from underneath my armor.
All right.
And my shield has the family crest on it.
What does the Frostborn crest look like again?
A mountain encased in ice.
All right. So, and sure enough, about another 30, 40 minutes of walking, you do see a heavily armored group of dwarves that are wearing the family crest of Stone Tower. They are a house that was elevated sometime just before you were born from to a cadet branch of House Steelforge. Yeah, that's how you're supposed to pronounce it. I spelled it stupid back in the day.
I continue to walk as normal.
As you do, the one that seems to be in the front holds up a hand. Need some identification before we allow you to move further. We have had to deal with a infestation of Grix moving this way.
I flash my shield at him.
Frostborn. Don't recognize the face. Name?
My name's Tarl. My daddy's Hiram.
Tyr?
That is correct.
And who are with you?
Members of my questing party.
Do you have a writ of travel?
I've got I have a writ with me, but I don't think it's a writ of travel.
Well, I think you would have been given one when you left. I mean, it would be more or less like your passport.
I'm sure it's in here somewhere. He reaches in his bag and pulls out a piece of paper.
Looks at it. All right, this checks out. Only one head of a household has handwriting that bad, so it can't be forged. Be warned, be careful.
We continue to move on.
I understand your obsession for receipts now.
So,
Yeah, don't you owe me one?
Balfor definitely doesn't. Mulak? I don't know. Probably.
how many receipts does Mulak owe?
I don't think so. I don't think he's ever used group party funds.
I think you might be right. Tarl is saying 35 receipts. Mulak has just been using party funds to buy his exfoliant and his lotion to stay youthful. Nah. Anyway, you continue down, you can see this passageway going down to the trenches, that you're going, as you continue to get deeper, it is less and less refined and starting to become more of a cavern. I need a perception check from everybody.
For mine, it's going to be Balfor first, and then Mulak.
Okay, so Tarl and Arvax, y'all get distracted because Tarl, what you notice is there's a metal plaque off to the side that is marking this as the second Battle of the Fork, which you remember all your aunts and uncles telling you about. It is one of the battles that pushed the Blackstones back down further into the trenches. The assault was led by your father, and this was where he officially got the title Line Ender because he killed his the fourth member of one family, officially bringing that line to an end. So, like, it's been polished and it's been kept up. That's what kind of distracts you. Everybody else, well, not Arvax. Maybe Tarl. Tarl, do you excitingly try to show it to somebody?
I'll show it to Arvax.
All right. Everybody else, y'all can hear murmuring down one of the side tunnels. What languages do Mularn, Mulak, and Balfor speak?
Common, Draconic, and Elvish.
Moose.
Sorry, I didn't realize I was muted. All together is Common, Dwarvish, Druidic, Common, Elvish, Draconic.
Okay. None of you understand the language that you hear coming from down this other split in the path. However, it's got kind of a tinny pitch to it.
Can we kind of see it? How far down is it? Can we see it? Talking.
From where you are, you can't, but if you move up a little bit, you can give me another check.
Oh yeah, I'll kind of move up a little bit and kind of peek.
Right, give me another perception check with a 24. It looks like they're kind of down and around a bend, but every so often you get a glimpse. There's a bunch of what looks like very small humanoid creatures that all are chattering back and forth together.
Where are those? I will point them out to Tarl.
perception check to see if I recognize them?
Yep. As the two of you kind of lean and squint and look down there, it looks to be a large number of goblins.
It's goblins. I don't know if they should be here.
I'd say with an 18, you don't recognize any of them, Tarl.
There ain't supposed to be no goblins in my home area, is there?
There are goblins that live there and do business, but you don't, like I said, you don't recognize these ones, and they are sounding kind of excited as they are talking.
Carl's gonna step out. What's your business here?
Okay, Tarl, as you step around the corner and see them, there's close to 30 of these goblins. They are wearing mishmatch old, torn up armor. You notice that one of them is wearing, like, it's kind of a larger goblin, not quite a hobgoblin, but he is wearing a set of, like, a really poorly fitting on his scrawny frame bit of rusted dwarven armor that has what looks like a long-eared white rabbit emblazoned on the chest.
Do I recognize the symbol?
Yes, it is the symbol of House Olderson, one of the destroyed houses that have been... Your family eradicated them. Like, they were part of the cult of Tiamat.
I'll look at him. Where'd you get that armor?
He just kind of glares at you. Founds it. I founds it in a hole.
Well, what be your business here with my enemy's symbol on your armor?
One of the other ones kind of tugs on him and whispers in his ears. We are here for business.
State your business.
The business.
Tarl readies his hammer and says, state your business.
The business. Yeah, that scares him, but he's still saying, the business, the business.
What's the name of your business?
One of the other goblins. Green Gobbles.
Tarl's gonna look at him. He's gonna glance back over toward Mularn. He's gonna glance back at the goblin. He's gonna take a step to the side toward the wall. And hide.
Yeah, passive perception on these guys is not great. One of them, goblin, or one of them looks, hey, the dwarf disappeared. Dwarves don't usually do that. Yeah, it disappeared.
He does.
There's an elf. Hello, elf. Name?
My name is Mularn. What is your name?
My name is Gobthaniel Gobtholomew.
That sounds unfortunate. What brings you here, Bartholomew?
To business.
Okay.
The fuck does that mean?
You say the business. Is it your business? Are you here to partake of someone else's business? Who's doing the business?
Motions at all of them to business.
You are all the Green Gobbo business.
What are you a business of goblins? The fuck does that mean?
Well, Arvax, you remember from running into goblins. Goblins don't believe in private property or like the idea of one person owning a thing. It's kind of a communal activity. It's why goblins often get seen as thieves. Is you weren't using it and they had a use for it and they were going to bring it back, but goblins also suffer from severe cases of ADH. Oh, that's shiny. So they might
Okay.
have intended to steal some, or they might have intended to return it, and then they walked like 30 miles another direction.
Okay, so you all have business.
The business.
What business? What is the business?
The Green Gobbles.
What is the Green Gobble's?
What is that?
If you finish your business, will you leave? Are you gonna go home?
Home.
What do you how you finish so you can go about your day?
Oh. Tarl, are you still staying there ready to attack something, or are you like moving around the group to examine them?
I'm sneaking in to see what I can see.
All right, give me a stealth check followed by a perception check. Yeah, they're definitely not going to see you with that 21. Tar, you see several bags and boxes being toted by these little goblins on their backs. However, nothing's hanging out of it. But again, you're seeing a lot of Alderson and Blackstone, like old, rusted equipment that they're wearing. See, Arvax, you asked what was the business?
Yeah.
The one that introduced himself to you motions for another one to come up, and it has this big box on his back, and it's just jingle, jangle, jingle, jangle, jingle, jangle, thump, 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 a dump, dump, a dump. And he
Okay, is that your business?
part of the business, and he opens up the box. I need Arvax and Mularn to give me a deck save. Is I'm gonna roll one for the Gobbo. Okay, Arvax, Mularn, y'all dodge it pretty quickly. He does not. And you just see another goblin come up and start taking off his equipment and start putting it on. Promotion. As what has unfurled out of the box is a very long steel cable that on the end of it has a serrated spiral cord. And the one that finishes kind of putting on the misfitting armor goes, "To business, Green Gobbles. Pipe empty. Green Gobbles."
How
Oh
far
my
away are they
God,
from
that's
us?
bummers.
Tarl, you kind of moved further towards this back of the group. So you were away from this thing by about, you were outside of it, but it looks like well over 15 feet of this metal cable that has whatever this is on the end of it that has come out the box. And another one goes, "Take forever to get it back in there."
So, are you
What is that for?
trying to sell this?
Put in pipe. Go run, yan, 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 yan. Pipe drain. Green Gobbles.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna look at all of them and go. All of you say what all of you repeat after me.
After
Plumber.
me.
Plumber.
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 Yes. Next time someone asks what your business is, say Green Gobbo. Plumber. They will understand.
Green Gobbo Plumber.
There you go.
So you need to unclog something, or you already did?
Both.
What?
Both.
You need to unclog something, and they already did it.
Tigers eat like meat. Pipes clog. Pay us with armor. Pretty sweet deal.
Okay.
I use my transmit stone thing that lets people hear me. They don't know how close they came to getting a fireball up their ass.
They're goblins in rusty armor. I really don't think they were that much of a threat.
Tarl steps out the shadows and says, "Let's quit wasting time. Come on."
The goblin that you come out right behind jumps and tumbles.
Maybe don't threaten another random set of goblins if we come across them.
That wasn't a threat.
It kind of was. With the whole pulling out your hammer intimidatingly.
That is how he says hello. To be fair.
I mean, yeah, I know that, but
You in my house now.
Mularn.
so far your house is very dim.
Gotta be honest, Arvax, as tall as you are, there's a couple places so far in the tunnels that have not been fun. Like, most of it is.
Yeah, I'm learning. Arvax is learning she really doesn't like underground.
But Mularn and Mulak, since y'all are probably some of the fanciest dressed individuals here, you feel tugs on your sleeves.
Yes.
One of the gobos, or I should say two, because I don't. They just open up their jackets and it's just old rusty daggers. One
I
copper.
think they want to sell you something.
One copper. Poo knife.
One copper.
Poo knife.
Don't you? How about this? How about I give you a copper to never show me that again?
Don't touch me.
Respectfully. And I will give him a.
I'm gonna pay him a silver to chase Mulak with it.
That will not go well for him.
He's gonna look at you, and then I'm gonna assume look at Mulak, who is just, I am too tired, and have had like one of the worst existential crises ever. And he's just like,
I wasn't being
nah,
serious.
nah. I choose life.
I was joking.
So, yeah, they tried to sell you poo daggers. Because apparently it's not unusual to find knives down into the pipes of these Thaigs. Balfor 1 comes up to you. Poo knife.
Yeah.
He'll hand you a dagger for a penny.
He'll give him a penny.
All right, you now have an old rusty dagger.
Covered in poo.
He's
been needing a new one.
Is that what It takes so long after you don't go to the bathroom for like 3 days.
I'll tell you what, it does take a while. It's not too bad though.
So you get past this random bit of nonsense that was in the tunnel that they just keep going. Green gobbo plubber. Green gobbo plubber. And you continue to make your way further down and further down until, Tarl, you smell the telltale odor of brewing. And there is a light that is emanating from up ahead, because you know the Alesbane Thaig never dims its torches. Because even though they have reclaimed most of the trenches and reformed them into a Thaig and have their houses scattered throughout it and manufacturing facilities, there's still a good portion of the trenches that are not reclaimed, not tamed, that still hold monstrosities from eras past. So keeping the lights on is kind of normal, just so that you go to them to deal with it. They don't come to you. That's why most of the houses have thick shades if they do have windows that open out. And Tarl, what you see, this is home. As you come out from a tunnel on an upper ledge that then descends down a large staircase, which something that's unusual, and maybe everybody else will notice this. This is the first time you've seen a handrail anywhere in these Thaigs. It's not just stairs and then off to the side a precipice that descends down into the depths. There is a handrail. It also seems like there is a elevator system that would lower you down if you had carts. But you come up. Go ahead, Tarl.
They've done some modification and improvement since I've been last home.
They probably just didn't want to deal with another lawsuit, from some high elf or somebody else falling because there was no handrail.
Well, the handrail's not going to do them a whole lot of good when it's only 2 foot off the floor.
Yeah, but, malicious compliance is more or less probably what's happened here. So, everybody, what you see is a series of massive caverns that have been interconnected. These are old dwarven structures that have been rebuilt and renovated. You can see off to the side there are the markets, or the upper markets that never close. And there is a massive dwarven temple almost immediately to your south as you enter into the Thaig. So anything that is on the map right now, you should be able to see.
Tarl's going to visit the temple, say a prayer, and leave a tithe.
Okay, is anyone else following him as he enters into the House of the Gods?
Yeah, I follow him.
Moloch and Balfor? Is Moose muted again?
Yep, sorry. I said not particularly. No, I'll wait. They'll both wait outside.
Okay. Arvax?
No, wait outside.
Okay, as y'all enter in and you do your prayer, it's very simple, or similar to other Thaigs and towns, places of worship. Unless they're very much dedicated to one god, there are altars to multiple of them. You even see a small area with a golden tree. And it looks like a Maripel that seems to be tending the area. So the Theocracy does have a presence here. Probably that one individual. But you're able to lay your prayer, put a coin down. Mularn, give me a perception check. With the 10, everything's fine. It's just, you might be getting a little sleepy. Like, it hasn't been that long since y'all got up today, but you've probably walked like well over, or about a mile down, but way more than that going all the different ways you had to do to get down here. But everything seems fine. All right, everybody outside, give me, well, Balfor doesn't have to because his passive perception is what, 20, 21?
20.
Okay, so Balfour's gonna know this is for Mulak and Arvax. I need a perception check. Okay, so all three of y'all notice coming down the main procession way of the upper markets is a dwarf clad in completely black armor that has kind of a pearlescent sheen to it, wearing a black helmet with a large red plume, whose visor is that of a skull that is being followed by several other dwarves wearing similar armor, holding what looks like poles that have a bucket or tray with some backer to it that have flames shooting up from it. As the one in the front is swinging what looks like a human skull that is spraying smoke.
That's kind of badass.
They seem to be making their way to the House of the Gods as Tarl and Mularn come walking out.
Tarl, who are the guys covered in skulls?
History check to know if I know what's going on.
Yep. 6.
Couldn't tell you, ain't seen them before.
Knox, how old is Tark Soulstone at this point now? It's been 100.
Oh.
It's been roughly 110 years.
They'd be like upwards of like 275, 300.
So later middle age for a dwarf.
Yeah.
Tarl, as you say that, the one that is swinging the skull that is emanating smoke from it stops, drops the skull dead in the street, and lifts up his visor, and you see, mostly gray at this point, multiple burn scars. The beard is shorter than you remember it, which, with your uncle's history,
Lots of bear traps scars.
If you were to not see the armor, you probably would see a lot of bear trap scars. But you were looking, huh?
He got burned up a lot. His beard got burned off many times.
Seems like that tradition is still going on. You are looking at your uncle, the head death priest, Tark Soulstone, third seat of the Alesbane Thaig.
He looks at him and said, "Uncle?"
Ah, shit, you're back, huh? All right. Oh, picks back up the skull. Sorry. And in quotation marks with his gauntlets, religious duties. Did you say anything to anybody that you were coming?
Not really.
Oh, we are going to have fun with this. And he turns and looks. Ivan! Go get Leroy. And an Oleg. We're going to mess with your dad.
Leroy and Oleg still around?
One of them? I stopped counting. I also have a Murphy now. Anyway, who are all these fuckers, chuckle fucks, that are with you?
Crap, now I gotta figure out what a Murphy is.
Tiny but fierce.
He's younger than Balfor.
How old's Balfor again?
Well, he's been aged up, but he was 324 years old, so...
Yes, he is younger.
Okay.
By about 50 or so years.
A Murphy's the guy that's always having bad luck.
We just have to figure out the opposite of the lucky feet.
No, I already had Leroy's.
But
that's what he is, a competent Leroy.
Murphy is a competent Leroy.
He is a competent melee. So when a Leroy, you see, when a Leroy does well, he gets promoted. If he does well and he's ranged, then he turns into
Ivan.
He turns into an Ivan. So if he stays melee, he'll be a Murphy.
To answer your question, Uncle, this is Arvax, Mular, Locke, and Balfor.
I think I know you. And
Hey.
he points at Balfor. Think I know you.
Probably so. I'll probably be a friend of your dad or something.
He just...
I set your house on fire once.
he looks at Arvax. Nice style. I didn't know they made elves in Goliath.
I'm an orc.
That explains it.
Yeah, that does it. About this time, you see a zombie ogre.
The fuck is that?
Oleg. Yeah, I taught him how to do that. That's the extent of his vocabulary. Oleg! And there is a little cart that's probably big enough for all y'all to fit in that is being pulled by the zombie ogre.
You said you wanted to mess with my father?
Oh yeah, we're gonna make it look like you have a broken leg.
No, make it look like I'm dead.
No. If it was your other uncle, yes. Your father, no.
There are limits, nephew.
Anyway, y'all get in. They'll take you over to the house. You see the skull's eyes start bubbling in different colors. Yeah, shut up. Yeah, I will finish doing the thing. Now, family's here. That's more important. Bitch. Pardon me. And he's going to put the visor back down and start walking towards the House of the Gods. Still swinging the skull that's eyes go back to the color they had been before, just dispensing smoke. So there is a zombie ogre that does have more than one bear trap on it that has got a cart.
I elbow Mulan and say, "See, I told you."
Yeah, you did. That was frightening. You got a weird family, Tarl.
Oh, this is just my uncle. You ain't messed the rest of them. If Binks is around, don't you really get a kick out of Binks?
Huh.
I'm pretty sure I've spanked that one before.
Did we ever? Oh wait, yeah. Tarek came from down off the coast near where, like there was the town, like I met his dad, who was the great hero and everything. Like he was from down like just east of Bilbot Kern or something like that, near where Kalum's from.
Yeah.
Oleg.
Mush.
Do you just jump in there and say mush?
Sure.
You just watch this big zombie ogre start walking. Who else? Did anyone else get in the cart, or is it just Balfor doing that and then he starts going?
I got in the car.
So y'all are now just behind this big thing as it's walking. You watch as it reaches into its side and pulls out a little metal box and hands it back to y'all in the cart. Does anyone?
In the box.
It just says snacks on it.
Ooh.
Tarl reaches open and opens the box for everybody to see what's in it.
It is a series of. It is very much wrapped. Like this box is soggy from being inside of a zombie. Everything in it is very much wrapped, but it is different assorted candies. If anybody would like to take one, roll me a d6.
We used to love these as kids.
Uh-huh.
What is it?
Y'all's home, you probably call it candy.
Okay, is that is it? It's Balfor doing it, not Malak, right? Okay, so
Yes, it's Balfour's.
Balfor, as you reach in, you pull out a little waxed packet of these little balls, They're smooth coated and kind of shiny. They're called badger nuggets. And if you taste one, they are chocolate and malt candy.
Huh. These are delicious.
Tarl, you get Binksy Bits, which are more or less Skittles. It is just pure little sugar nuggets that have been dyed different colors.
We used to call this Taste the Rainbow.
Mm-hmm.
Arvax, you get the same thing as Balfor. It's basically Milk Duds.
Oh, ew.
He'll then close the box and literally just back into the side under his ribs.
They're delicious. Give them a chance.
No, that's me. I don't like milk duds. Oof.
Oh, I love them. They'll only be better if you eat those with
Ugh.
black licorice.
Oh, malt balls and black licorice, the two nastiest things.
Oh God, Moose, you like black licorice too?
I fucking love black licorice.
CM, there's other people that like it too.
It's moose.
It
It's weird. Like, yeah.
It is obviously possible for more than one person to be wrong.
I like black licorice
Yeah.
too.
All right,
See, there's another one that's wrong.
now
3 wrongs always make a right.
I will say this: the reason I like black licorice does not make it sound any better, even though I absolutely love it. It was the one candy no one else in my family would steal, so I ate it until I liked it.
That is a thing.
Like, legitimately, it was the candy my
I just
sister.
liked it.
I really like black licorice jelly beans.
Me and my dad both just would destroy black licorice.
Like, it is the candy that none of my family would steal, so that and the gummy Coca-Cola bottles. I ended up liking candy out of pettiness and spite because I kept having all the other candy I like get stolen by family members. So,
Fair.
the more I say out loud about my childhood, the more I start realizing that
More things start fitting together.
things start fitting together, but also I go, none of this is normal.
Yeah. No.
And a lot of this.
Ain't none of us normal.
No, there's a couple of times I've been on the podcast with Chris. I've mentioned something. Chris goes, "Hewitt, that's just child abuse. That's what she does." Like, huh,
No, that's
huh.
that no. That it's not, is it? Is it? No.
Those were learning experiences to make you stronger.
Yeah, that's what that is exactly what they used to call child abuse.
I didn't need to learn that. Anyway, so y'all are just being total. And when this ogre is like 8.5 feet tall, 9 foot tall, and it is running like a toddler. It is very Attack on Titan wobble run. Things are like dwarves are just hopping out of the way. All the like the sentient species that are running through here, like you see one that you go by, it looks like it's a man made out of copper that just kind of looks at you, like you watch the eyes refocus and what looks kind of like eyebrows go up in surprise as y'all continue to barrel through. And if nobody tells him to stop as you are passing by different things in the Thaig, Oleg will take you to the front of House Alesbane, which is built into the side of the Thaig. Like, there is a structure that juts out, but you can see going up to the top of this like 60, 70 foot tall cavern that lights are going up all the way on the side of this cavern through openings. Oleg comes to a stop. Oleg.
That
This is
was
where we get out.
only slightly what's the word? Terrifying. Yeah, that's it.
Mularn, as you say that, just one meaty hand comes down on your head and ruffles your hair.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It's slightly sticky.
That's gross.
And it will then go stampeding off with the cart that's now empty, kind of just bumping all over the place. You just hear down the street, "God damn it! My cabbages!"
Huh. Anyway, so yeah, lead on.
I'm assuming, Tarl, you lead the way, because if you go up the stairs first, the guards will recognize you and open the gate or open up
Would
the
you
doors.
just pretend your leg was broken?
Yeah, I thought
Oh,
Terex was gonna play a trick.
I mean, yeah. So if you want to, that means you'd have to have someone carry you in. I think Arvax is the only one with a strength score to be carrying you.
Or tall enough to.
I'll just hobble with using my shield as a cane.
All right, as you do that, the guards will look. It's Lord Frostborn. It's Lord Frostborn, and they will run down to carry you.
I'll let them.
All right, so Tarl is now being carried on his shield by these two guards into the building. Are the rest of you following?
Yep.
Okay, as you go in, very quickly, like there's like a small kind of antechamber that you first enter into, and there's a couple more guards. And it looks like stairs that go off to the side, another set of doors that are open, and it looks like the most dwarven throne room you have ever seen. There's 3 pillars on either side, massive and thick, with the dwarven runes. The very large emblem of House Alesbane, which is a frothy mug of ale with a sword behind it. There are multiple guards. It also looks like people that are trying to negotiate business off to the side, as Tarl is rushed forward to where there's a raised dais. And I need to drop a couple tokens. Boop. 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 Oh, and one more. You see another dwarf similar in age to Tarek. Hiram, you would recognize this as your father. A dwarf that is just starting to go gray. Like no one is sitting on either of the 2 thrones on the dais. It's just people are they're standing and talking. The one that has just a little gray in his beard has a bright bronze circlet and a large tankard. Snoring loudly on a cloud is the oldest orc anybody has ever seen. Like, you did not know orcs could live to be this old. Large, pronounced tusks. Still wearing, Let me ask you, Moose, would Kalum still wear his armor all the time, or would he be in more comfy clothes?
What is the purpose that he's sitting here for? I guess would be the question.
It looks like what y'all are walking up on was a business meeting.
Yeah, he'd probably have it on with his good glasses and
Now, does he have little round glasses or like little square glasses?
they're round, like more fashionable Harry Potter glasses.
Are they just one lens, or does he have bifocals?
They're probably regular lensed.
All right. He is just laid back asleep on the cloud.
As thick as Coke bottles.
And you also see a tall, purple-skinned tiefling that looks like she has been drug out of bed for whatever is being discussed right now.
And by the way, if he's still the same size based on his age, then he's also like fucking massive.
Wait, wasn't he like 7 foot or something like that?
He was like 6'8", but he was like
Jacked.
absurdly humongous. Yeah.
I would say at this point he might have lost a little muscle mass, but I don't think he's lost that much. Like, all I'm seeing is a World of Warcraft orc right now, Moose, with a gray beard.
But even big for that.
He is the surprisingly swole grandpa orc. But he has fallen asleep on his cloud as y'all come up, and it seems like there is a map or a piece of document that Tarl, or not Tarl, but Hiram is holding. The tiefling is putting on a set of glasses and rubbing the bridge of her nose and then her temples as you all come barreling up, and someone else that was like waiting in line to speak to these individuals just literally gets plowed over by these Alesbane guards toting Tarl on his shield. Tarl, what do you do as you have been presented to your uncle's aunt and father?
I'm home, Father.
He turns and looks at you. Everybody sees what looks like a older version of Tarl. Also, you understand that Tarl is 1,000 times more expressive than this dwarf. The one next to him turns and looks, taking a long drink from his beer. And just goes, "The hell's happened to you?"
I met a dragon I didn't like.
The two dwarves look at each other, then look back. Your father looks at you. Tarl told us that you had been injured.
This is Tarl.
I was like, Tarek told us. See, he named a character after two of the other characters from the first campaign. I'm sorry. Tarek told us that you were injured. So,
Tarl comes up off his shield, takes it back, and says, "But I'm a cleric, Dad. I healed myself."
okay. Yeah. We were actually meeting to see where we could plant bear traps to get back at your uncle for lying to us. The one with the circlet, we've been doing this for years now. We've been planting so many of them just around where he normally walks.
It didn't start that way. But once it kept happening, we decided to keep it going.
Yeah, it was a normal thing. We had to continue the tradition. Looks at all of you. I don't know who you are, but I'm going to go ahead and tell you this. One of the best ones we did is we had it swing down when he stepped into the shower.
Tarl reaches into his bag of holding and pulls out a bear trap and hands to his father. Here's you another one for your inventory.
Looks at it and then shoves it into the pocket of a vest. The tiefling looks at, so you got me out of bed to enchant another 5 bear traps so you can prank one of your best friends. Again. The one with the circlet. Yes, we did. 100%.
Have you planned one at the door of the bag of Piggly Wiggly yet?
Your father writes something down on the piece of paper. Anyway, introductions. I am Isilgard Alesbane, the Alesbane, leader of the House Alesbane, and some other shitty titles they gave me that I don't give 2 rats' asses about. This is Tarl Frostborn, second seat of House Alesbane. His dad, Master of the Forge, other titles that no one gives a shit about. This is Beltari, the chief mage that we can rely on, and our resident discontent with the rest of us individual. And she just sighs. Hello. And the one back there, that is Gloom Breakum. With the sound of that, you watch as the orc sits up. Didn't he have red eyes, Moose?
No, they're blue. They're blue.
The brightest blue eyes you've ever seen behind these pair of spectacles as he sits up and goes, "The boy!" And you watch as he rises up off of this cloud. And again, this is the oldest orc y'all have ever seen. He is at least as wide as a door frame in the shoulders. Tarl, do you try to dodge as your uncle goes to hug you?
Oh, hell yeah.
You go to dodge? Roll me a dex save.
Yeah.
It does not work. You are gathered up in these massive arms and are shook back and forth. Hey, when did you get copper for beard? For a beard. This is... Oh man, that's weird.
It's been a while back, but it helps keep money in the coffers.
This hug's not over, by the way. They're not going to take... We accidentally killed Sandy Claus. But then we found a new Sandy Claus.
Trying to break the hug.
I did not import their character sheets, but I'm going to say you're able to break free, and then he's just going to go sit back down on his cloud.
Oh. He has a +6 strength, so...
He probably let you go.
For those listening, this is the equivalent of your grandma pinching your cheeks.
I would fear what would happen if Kalum tried to pinch anybody's cheeks. Why does that one dwarf have a bald spot on the right side of his face? Kalum. But y'all have come to find Mixel, right?
That's what we want to do.
Alright. Your dad filled me in on this. He fell down a hole. Again. Badger smacked the ball. He went down the hole. He'll make his way back if you want to wait. Or you can go down and find him.
We're a little pressed for time.
Yeah, we gotta go banish a god that's currently masquerading as the head of a religious organization. So we kind of have a thing.
The tiefling turns and looks at you. And then looks back at them. Ever since you kidnapped me. We always end up dealing with gods. Or dragons that are almost gods.
What about gods that are almost dragons?
That's just Binks. Which she's on vacation with her wife right now. They were waiting after the holiday, and then you didn't show up, so they went on. They're in the archipelago right now.
That's unfortunate. I'm gonna turn to Tarl and go with Tarl and go. What the fuck is a Binks?
Oh, that's just my aunt.
Oh, okay.
The dwarf with the circlet looks, or Isilgard the Alesbane looks back at at Beltari. We didn't kidnap you. You were properly exiled for actions that were 100% your own doing.
And Hiram speaks up, and I might have had a hand in that when I leveled the tower.
Might have?
What was that, Em?
Might have?
Just everybody but Beltari kind of laughs at the mentioning of breaking the Utar Tower. Anyway, I gotta continue doing business before I go back to bed. You're free to use any of the rooms that are past my kids' rooms in the guest wing if you need to rest before you go. And Hiram will write you a pass to get past the guards that go into the trenches.
Does anybody know what hole he fell down?
They all kind of lead to the same place. But it's one of the ones that was over there past the Badger Park. We keep telling him not to go in the Badger Park, and Hiram, he loves those damn animals. They don't love him. Especially when we give them candy. Anyway, I'm going to get back to business. Looks at Beltari. Would you show them where to go if they would like to stay? Unless, looks over at Tarl. Unless you want to go stay at in your old room at your father's house.
I'd be good with that if everybody else can come with.
Hiram, I only have room in the barracks for everybody else.
Then here we stay.
And with that, the tiefling will show you down the hallway, kind of grumbling to herself, pulling her robe a little tighter, and then points. I'm actually just going to go back to my room and try to sleep until they wake me up again, because they apparently only need 3 hours and run on coffee and beer. No wonder all 3 of them in there in the bathroom like crazy. But if you go down that hallway, you'll find the guest rooms. You just gotta get past the first 10 or 15. Those are the younger children's rooms. Good night. And she steps into her room and closes the door. And you hear multiple locks being locked. So what do y'all do?
Guess we wander down the hall and find a room and get a night's rest.
Now, Tarl, you have, by your own opinion, way too many cousins that are all from your Uncle Isilgard. But you do get past all the rooms. You get to a large chamber that opens up and it's round with several bedrooms that kind of branch off of it. There are a few gnomes in there that seem to be acting as porters. One of them comes up to you. This is an older gnome. Skin has gotten kind of earthy, like cracks and ridges, and looks at y'all. All right, so like, if you need anything, I can get it for you now. But after that, you're on your own. There's a kitchen off to the side. It's stocked. But like I said, I'll get you one thing and then I'm gone. My contract very much says my hours of business. So is there anything I can get any of you before you turn in for the night?
Tarl tells him to get us all evening meal and a barrel of my father's ale.
All right. Looks at Arvax. Well, that's a big one, but she looks young. Is she old enough to drink?
Yes.
Look, I gotta ask you. I know you're an elf, but like, you look maybe 40. Think you gotta be 51 to drink.
I'm a thin orc.
Very well. Okay. And he and the other gnomes will come back with a meal of cold chicken. Looks like some type of greens. Some dwarven bread, which is very dark, hearty, and thick. And they roll in a cask, not a full barrel, of ale. And also a plate of some type of square-shaped sweets.
Tarl's gonna sit down and start eating and drinking some of the ale, and he's gonna look up at everybody. When we find Mixel, y'all need to know he's kind of a trickster, so you gotta be careful with what he asks.
See, I think Nox has stepped away. How is Mulak looking, Moose?
It's just kind of. I think he seems fine, health-wise. He's just kind of confused and watching. He's just kind of like, what the fuck is going on here?
Is Balfor just digging in the food?
Oh, he's eating everything.
Arvax?
Huh?
Just enjoying the meal as well?
Mm-hmm.
Balfour's also like probably chatting up people, just a random person. Just,
One of the porters just looks at you. I'm very well, sir, but I would like to be dismissed so I might go to bed. It is late.
are you a slave?
No, I'm a porter, and I was woken up to get the rooms ready for family that was visiting. It's just, I was told I was to work until dismissed, and then I would have the next day off. So I am waiting to be dismissed so I can have tomorrow off.
Tarl looks up. You're dismissed.
Bolts out of the door as fast as they can. Because more or less they were promised if you get up and work a couple hours, you can have tomorrow off completely. Is the Knox back?
I am.
Yeah, y'all have a meal of cold chicken, greens, ale, and some type of sweetened bread that's been brought to you before y'all can rest tonight if y'all so wish.
Nice.
But with that, if y'all would like to rest, you can, and you can pick up the writ to go into the trenches in the next day.
Yeah. I'm going to. I'm going to sleep in my clothes.
You're going to sleep in your clothes.
I'm going to sleep in my clothes.
What is the reason?
There is. So far, there hasn't been much here that I would be willing to touch.
Well, I mean, the room is clean. There is a bed. I mean, furniture seems to be made out of stone with cushions on it. But even still, you're like, ew.
Pretty much.
So, y'all have a long rest if that's what you would like to take. The next morning, there is breakfast prepared for you. Whole lot of meat. Lots and lot of meat. And coffee. And oddly enough, fried okra. But next to all that is a package that has a map, a writ, and a weird set of tongs with a really wide end at the end of it, like it's supposed to go around something. Like about 2 foot of something when it's fully closed.
Would Tarl know that's what we got to have to get Mixel?
Yeah, it is Mixel's Marvelous Manual Mandible. It's written on the side in very bright letters.
Now, when we find Mixel, you can't put your hands on him. You got to use these tongs to grab him.
Okay.
And with that, I think we'll end a little early tonight, y'all.
Wait, we need tongs to carry what?
Oh, go ahead.
We have to use the tongs to carry Mixel because you cannot touch him with your hands.
Okay.
Just think of him as a germaphobe that will injure you if you touch him with his hands.
Oh. Okay. Sounds like an interesting fella.
But like I said, we'll end a little early tonight, y'all.
Okay.
Sorry, I'm kind of fading fast. But we'll pick back up next week with y'all delving back into the trenches for the first time in a campaign in 6 years? Maybe longer?
Yeah.
So thank y'all for playing. Thank you for anybody that watched. We are Team Bonus Action. We stream Mondays and Sundays and sometimes games in between. So if you'd like to catch any of that, you can catch us on Twitch and YouTube. You can also find more information about us at teambonusaction.com. And Knox, since you're here,
We appreciate y'all hanging out with us. Until next time, don't let your meatloaf.